There was once a man who had everything most people spend their lives chasing. A home that caught the morning light just right, a business that hummed with success, and friends who toasted his name under golden evenings. He had built an empire of comfort and believed it would last forever. But one winter morning, the sound of cracking wood woke him before dawn. Flames danced through his home, devouring everything he once called his own. By sunrise, all that remained was smoke rising into the pale sky, a farewell whispered by a life that no longer fit him. In the weeks that followed, the world grew silent. Debts came like winter storms, and those who once stood by his side slowly vanished into the distance. He walked through the ruins of what he had built, not as a man defeated, but as a man stripped bare before truth. He began wandering, not through cities, but through silence. The silence that follows loss has a voice of its own. It echoes softly, asking questions no one wishes to answer. He sat by the sea, night after night, listening to waves erase the shore, wondering why life takes from us the things we guard the most. One evening, an old fisherman noticed him sitting alone. The man's hands were calloused, his face mapped with salt and wisdom. He sat beside him without a word, mending his net. After a while, he said, "You can lose everything that fills your hands, but you will never lose what fills your soul." Then he rose, carrying his patched net into the fading light. Those words lingered like an anchor in the man's chest. In the days that followed, he began to see the world through different eyes. He noticed the way sunlight glowed through morning mist. He felt the warmth of a stranger's smile. He heard laughter in places he once hurried past. What he had once called loss had quietly become his teacher. He no longer measured his worth by what he owned, but by how deeply he could feel. Gratitude replaced ambition. Stillness became his wealth. He began visiting the nearby village, helping others who had fallen on hard times, not with advice or money, but simply with presence. He had learned that healing often begins in silence, when someone simply stands beside you and says nothing at all. One spring afternoon, he planted a single sapling on a quiet hill near the ashes of his old home. As the seasons passed, the tree grew, strong, patient, reaching for the sun without hurry. Beneath its shade, he placed a small wooden plaque. It read, "What you lose is never the end of your story. It is the beginning of seeing what truly remains." Years later, travelers passing through would stop beneath that tree and rest. Some left flowers. Others left letters. And though he never met most of them, the man knew the peace he had found in loss had rippled quietly into the hearts of others. Because that is what loss does when we allow it to teach us. It shows us that the things we thought defined us were never the point. What remains after everything falls away, that is who we truly are. When you lose everything, what remains is your truth, your courage, and your quiet grace to begin again. Sometimes life has to empty your hands before it can fill your heart. If this story spoke to your heart, take a moment to reflect. What has life taken from you that ended up giving you something deeper in return? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your words may be the light someone else needs tonight. And if this message found its way into your soul, remember to like, share, and subscribe to Legacy Alive, where every ending becomes a lesson in beginning again.